All right, hello and welcome to a FitEssentials class. I'm Shauna. I'll be guiding you through. If you're using any blood flow restriction training today, we've got our air in our band, so you can go ahead and add air. And we're going to be starting down on the floor today. If you do want to have like a chair or a bench available on the second round of glute bridge work, I'm going to have the option to elevate the feet to get a little bit more hamstring activation. Otherwise, we're going to start by warming up the wrist, and then we'll go into a little bit of some cat-cow. We got some midline work from there. So go ahead and make your way down to all fours. Coming down to hands and knees, you're simply going to turn your palms down with your fingers rotating in towards you. Spread those fingers nice and wide, and then just gently lean on back. Sharon, I don't know if you can tilt your camera down a little bit, but we can only see your ceiling today. Oh, but there you are. Leaning back a bit, and then we'll come off of that, turning the hands so they face in towards one another. You can just go ahead and interlace those fingers, and then we'll take a little bit of a circular pattern. Good. Thank you. And then when you're ready, circle the other direction. Very nice. When you come off those hands, if you're comfortable to come into a kneeling position and then backs the hands together with the fingers pointing down, draw the shoulders down out of the ears and draw those elbows down. Good. Just a couple of breaths here. So we're going to go cat-cow, mobility and breathing for the mid-back neck. Circle those wrists around. And then our first midline exercise will be our down dog, knee to elbow. So we'll be doing a little bit of stretching as we move through. Follow along when you feel ready. So as we get into that down dog position, you're going to really spread the fingers nice and wide. The wider the handprint, the more support for the wrist. And then when you're ready, you're going to start by sending those hips high. Gently guide the heart towards the thighs, and then as you come forward, draw your knee towards the elbow, alternating sides, driving back, chin to the chest, rocking forward, knee towards that opposite elbow. Excuse me, same side elbow on this round. Now, just under a minute to practice this. You need to come down at any point and shake it out. Otherwise, just nice and steady here, using it as a bit of a stretch and mobility as you push back. And then really lift up between those shoulders as you draw forward, pulling that knee up. Good. On this next one, start to lower those heels down a bit as well. Get a bit of a length in the back of the lower legs, stretching out those calves. Maybe one more here, pushing back, drawing forward, and then come on down. From here, we're going to make your way onto your back. A little bit of a low back stretch first, and then we'll move into some glute bridge. As you come down, take touch of that upper body, draw the shoulders underneath you, and then we're going to begin with that double knee to chest, pulling both legs in and rock the body side to side. Very good. Just loosen up that low back. From here, we're going to get ready for that first bridge, starting in about 10 seconds. You'll simply place the feet right about hip width apart. You can rest the hands on the hips or at the sides. And then when you're ready, nice and controlled here, starting to pulse those hips up and lowering on down. And just use your body to guide how fast or slow you want to move today. If you're feeling a little bit stiff, then I would recommend moving a little bit slower. If you're feeling like you've been up for a while, been doing a lot of work today, and want to move a little bit faster, and you can get that faster pulse up and down. Breathing in as you lower, breathing out as you raise those hips up. You can give a little bit of tension to the foot as well. You should be pushing through the heel, and also try to find that big toe, pushing all the way through the foot, not letting any of the toes raise up. Nice. Breathing in to lower, breathing out, hips drive up, chin to the chest. Trying to imagine lengthening through that lower spine as you raise the hips up, avoiding any kind of pinching sensation. Fantastic. Last time here, up and squeeze, down and release. Great job. You can return to that double knee to chest, or if you want to go deeper into that low back stretch, take it into a two-knee twist. Arms to the side, both legs come to one side, looking over that opposite shoulder. And then scooping the knees up and across, rotate that head and neck as you look over that opposite shoulder. We're going to stay on our backs for this next exercise. This will be our last midline practice before we go back to the top. And we're going to be working that hollow body position. If you're pretty strong with that hollow body, you can add a little bit of a flutter kick. Otherwise, I'm going to show with the bent knee, alternating the straight leg. So when you're ready, I'm going to lift the legs up, putting my arms up to overhead, draw that belly in. I'm going to think about making my spine like the bottom of the boat. No arching of that lower back. So if this is tough, I'll just hold here. If I want to advance the movement, then I can extend one leg out, ensuring that low back doesn't rise off the mat, and then that opposite leg can come out. Good. This is a pretty taxing motion for that upper body as well. So if at any point the neck gets tired, just rest down for a second. You can keep the head on the ground if the neck's a little bit sensitive today, or you feel a little bit stiff. Otherwise, practice also building strength in the front part of your neck. Breathing fluid as you move, about 10 seconds left. Very nice. And 2, 1, and rest. Very good. We're going to roll it back over to all fours. This time, instead of that cat-cow, we're going to lower back into that child's position. So toes come together, walk your knees out, reach your arms straight out on the mat, and then slowly lower those hips back, bow the head down. Just a short rest here for our second set of down dog, knee to elbow. Let's take about 3 nice deep breaths into the back and sides of the rib cage. See if you can breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good. When you're ready, coming back forward. And on this round of the down dog, we're going to take the knee across the body towards the opposite elbow. 2, 1. Here we go. Hips high, pushing back, lifting up, coming forward, knee pulls across. As you push back, draw that chin in towards the chest. Just imagine inviting that heart a little bit closer to the thighs. Excellent. Try not to sink into that upper body. Really lifting up out of the shoulders as you draw forward. Excellent. That's 30 seconds. We're going to go about another 15. Maybe one more time on each side. Pushing back, drawing forward, and even it out. Fantastic. As you come on down, this is get ready for our second round of that glute bridge. I'm going to bring my chair over. I'm going to have my feet elevated on set 2. All right. Loosen up that low back last round. If you need to return to that double kneaded chest, by all means. Otherwise, if you're ready to move into set 2, we're going to have the feet elevated or flat on the ground. And when you're ready, we'll practice for about a minute here. All the same components, but now you'll feel a little bit more activation if you're elevating the feet into the back of the hamstrings. Lowering down, raising on up. He's okay. Seeing what he's chewing on. Good job. Breathing in to lower, breathing out as you stand. Arms at the sides. You're over halfway. 15 seconds left. Good job. Relaxing down. Raise up, avoid any pinching sensation. Excuse me, get my word, sensation in the front of the hips. When you finish that last rep, go ahead and rest. All right, one more time to that hollow body position. All right, getting ready for that hollow. Give a little break for that low back. We got about 15 seconds until we're going to start. It's like, but she has my little piece of bone. All right, and then when you're ready from there, raise those arms to overhead. Draw that stomach in as you raise on up. Yes. Get on some kisses from the puppy dog. And then to show the flutter kicks, that's with both legs straight. And you point the toes, raise the legs up and down, or the one knee bent, one leg straight. Really key here, again, don't cheat yourself. If you feel any strain in that low back, you're maybe progressing a little bit too fast. So you're really working to pull that pelvis back and holding it neutral as you move through the legs. give my upper body a little bit of a break. And then coming back up, 20 seconds left. Keep breathing. Woo. Almost there. 3, 2, 1, and everybody rest. Good job. Hug those legs in, rock your body side to side. Got a little puppy energy up here this morning. All right, friends, that completes our midline and glute activation work for the first half. Let's come back into down dog. We're going to slowly inchworm our way up to standing and get ready for that next circuit. Wide handprint. Push on back. Just take your time coming up out of that forward fold. Excellent. And then once you come on up to standing, let's loosen those hips up with a little hip circle. 3 to 5 times in one direction. And then 3 to 5 times in that opposite direction. We've got 4 exercises coming up next. We've got some squat work, a deadlift, alternating overhead press, and then an alternating reverse lunge. We're going to be working for a minute on each. On round 2, let's go ahead and start to warm up some squats at the feet. Round 2, we're going to be doing 45 seconds of each. And then that third and final round, about 30 seconds of each exercise. We'll probably keep the air in the bands for the first 2 rounds and then take it out on round 3. You want to see where our time is. All right, beautiful. And then from here, practice a little bit of balance. Let's stretch out those quads after you get a couple squats in. Pulling that heel back, soft bend the knees. Good. Excellent. And same thing other side. Draw on up. Ooh. And it's going to be a rolling clock for the first round of the minute. So you just switch up weights. Join us when you can. All right, we're going to start our squats here in 15 seconds. So your choice if you want to hold weight on your first round. I'm going to go body weight on round 1 and then progressively get a little bit heavier as the time goes down. So you're going to sit those feet right about hip width apart, just a very gentle toe out. And then when you're ready, you're going to reach your arms out in front. If you're not holding any weight, squeeze the glutes as you stand tall. If you are holding weight, typically you're right about the shoulders and pushing those elbows up and forward. Nice. Pacing yourself through, moving at a tempo you can maintain for this full minute. And obviously, if you need to rest at all, great way to slow it down is pause at the top, making sure you get nice and deep in the bottom. Heels stay planted, toes push down so you don't raise those toes up. Good, just over halfway. We're going to be moving into our deadlift next. I am going to be picking up a light weight. If anyone wants to hold off on weights, you can also practice that good morning position in that first round. All right, 10 seconds. Maybe a couple more squats, and then I'm going to go grab my weight. Get ready for those deadlifts. And that completes the minute on the squat. Moving into the deadlift. Keep my feet in a similar position. Have the weight right between my hips, and then lowering down, standing tall. Long spine now, so I'm pushing those hips back, bowing forward with the upper body. And that work we practice on the ground, that hollow position. You want to kind of feel that activation as you're moving here through the hinge. So I'm drawing my belly in, ensuring that lower spine doesn't overarch. Good. Breathing in, lowering down, breathing out, pushing through the legs, standing tall. Wonderful. Over halfway. We're moving into the upper body coming up next with that alternating overhead press. So typically it's going to be a lighter weight than you're using for your deadlifts. Good. Maybe one more time here. And then as you set that weight down, use those same mechanics. Hips back, chest tall. There's our minute. Grabbing your lighter weights, preferably one in each hand if you have it. And then when you're ready, we go one arm up and the other arm up. Alternating sides. Just soft bend in the knees. Checking in with the feet. We want those toes pointing straight ahead this time and a little bit narrower stance than you used for your squat or deadlift. Excellent. And then what tends to go wrong with that upper body? We tend to lean back. So make sure you tuck the front of the ribs down. Squeeze that tush. And if you get to where you need a little assist, you can turn it into a push press, where you dip and drive up to overhead. It'll incorporate the legs a little bit more. I'm going to stick with a strict press on this first set. Lunges are coming up next. And 3, 2, 1, and transition. Similar to the squats, I'm going to go unweighted on this first set. So chest tall, you're going to step 1 foot back, controlling that knee down, and then pulling up and forward. Pulling through that front heel, driving into the ground, standing tall. Nice. Reach those arms out as you step back. Encourage that chest position to stay upright. And then that front shin, we want it to be nice and vertical. So if you step too short, sometimes that knee shoots forward. So you're stepping back far enough. Great work, 30 seconds, then we're gonna have a 30-second break before we jump into round 2. Whew. Eyes up. Excellent. Similar on the squats, you want to make sure the knee's not dropping in. Pushing that big toe down is going to help stabilize up through the ankle. All right, last one, and take a pause. Let's grab a quick drink. We'll be back to those squats in about 20 seconds. On round 2, if you want to hold some weight, make it a little bit harder, because now we're going to be working for 45 seconds instead of 60. All right, squatting first, set the feet. Eyes up, 2, 1, here we go. Super. You're holding weight, drive those elbows up, similar to how you'd reach your arms out. Find a spot straight ahead to focus on. Nice, steady breathing. Woo. Feeling that burn now with a little bit more weight. 20 seconds left. Whew. All right, Moose. Bringing your horse over. Great job. 10 seconds. Moving into those deadlifts next. 2, 1, and transition. Take that 15 seconds to grab the weight. Make sure you have a good posture of that back. Squeeze those shoulders back, slight toe out. And then when you're ready, long spine. Breathing in to lower, breathing out as you stand tall. And then watch that you don't overarch back as you stand all the way up. Sometimes we tend to push back instead of just stacking those shoulders right over the hips. Nice. Breathing in, breathing out as you push into those legs, standing tall. Beautiful. Start to note that head and neck position as well as you bow forward. Now we're going to look down towards the floor. As you stand tall, eyes should be up. 10 seconds left. Get that overhead press going next. 2, 1, and transition. All righty. Coming back to the dumbbells. Walking the feet in, toes forward. And 2, 1. 45 starts now. Stick with that strict press. If you want a little bit heavier, need a little extra dip and drive, or want a little bit more involvement of the legs, you can add that push press, where we dip down, little quarter squat, and then we drive up. Nice. And we're working on that full extension through the shoulder. So trying to elevate that shoulder up towards the ear, bringing your weight right over the center of the head. Good. That gets that full lateral rotation of your shoulder blade. Build some strength in that end range. Lunges are coming up next. Couple more. And 2, 1, and rest. Good. If you're using air, you started with us, you can let it out. And I'm going to weight my lunges. You make that choice for you. Make sure if you are going to hold weight, that you're comfortable with that full range. All right, eyes up, and 45 seconds starts now. Always controlling that back knee down. Nice. My favorite little beach analogy, I'm in the sand. I'm pulling that heel into the sand to get a nice deep footprint on that front leg. Kind of feel how it propels you up and forward. Wonderful. There's 30 seconds, another 15, and then we're going to have a short break. Good, great control. Nice and fluid, crew. Last one. And take a pause. Excellent, we'll take 30 seconds. Grab a drink, and we'll be into our final round. Now in this final round, you want to go the heaviest weight that you have available within your comfort zone, right? Making sure that you're smart and you're going to be safe with the movements that you do. All right, kicking these bands off. We're going to get started here in about 10 seconds. Oops. Squats are first. All right, just a gentle toe out. Eyes up and begin. Now we're on that third and final set. It's our shortest interval, working for 30 seconds. So here, if you're feeling strong, you got good recovery this weekend, kind of push that tempo a little bit. Sitting back, standing tall. Beautiful, almost there. And transition. Good, getting ready for the deadlifts. Hold two weights, one in each hand, right between the legs. All right, standing tall, check in with that midline, and begin. Long spine as you bow forward, pushing the hips back, pushing the knees out. And then activate through those shoulders, keeping those shoulders squeezed back and down. Good, halfway through. Good focus. Last one, and transition here. All right, going back to that alternating overhead press. 2 exercises to go, folks. Elbows up and forward. Ready, here we go. Now we can start to move a little bit faster from arm to arm. It's a little bit tricky if you're adding that push press, but on a strict press, just moving through. Almost like an exaggerated hand walk on the ceiling. Going from one arm to the other, pushing high, good support through those shoulders. Ensure you don't start to arch back now. That midline strong. 2, 1, and quick shakeout. We'll take 15 seconds, and then our last exercise is the lunge. All righty, so you can hold weight here, elbows up and forward. 2, 1, and final 30 seconds on the lunge. Ensure you're just lightly lowering that knee down. If you're getting faster, just ensure you still have control of the motion. Eyes up. Halfway. Wonderful, good, Sharon, yep. Without weight, reach those arms straight out. Encourage that chest to stay tall. 2, 1, and everybody's done. Woo, great job. Let's grab a drink. If you're short on time today, or if your energy's a little bit low, you could call that the end of your session and just hang out for a little bit of some stretching here for your cool down. Otherwise, we got one more round, one more circuit coming up. All righty. So after you grab a drink, we're gonna go ahead and do our behind the back stretch with our forward fold. So you're gonna walk the feet nice and wide, anchor down in those legs, drawing the stomach in, extend those arms back behind, and then you'll take those hips back, Pull those arms right over top of the head. And now nice deep breath, trying to go in through the nose, out through the mouth. On that exhale, see if your body wants to come a little bit closer. One more time. On that next breath, come on up. All right. From here, standing tall, we're going to open up those inner thighs. Okay, horsey lost his second eye. Thanks, I'll take that, Moose. Walk those feet nice and wide. Root down in those legs, reach those arms out, pushing those knees wide. Breathing in as you come to the top. Breathing out. This is the one that you should really feel that big toe able to push down. Keep that traction of the knee driving wide. We don't want it to sink in. Super. Shimmy those feet in just a little bit from there. Hands on the thighs. And we're going to push one leg out as we rotate the torso, looking over that opposite shoulder. Breathe in as you come back to center. Nice broad chest. And then breathing out, taking it the other way. 2 to 3 times each direction. Fantastic. All right, standing tall from there. Last stretch is going to be a little combo motion. We're going to open the hips. We're going to open that upper body with our stagger stance, tricep side bend. So we're going to step 1 foot forward. Let's mirror each other. You can step your right foot forward, your left foot back. Keep your feet hip width apart. And now we're going to get the hips to drive forward here. We're going to nice opening on this trail leg as you reach that same arm of the trail leg up. Bending the elbow. So you get that shift of the hips, trying to really squeeze that bum of that trail leg. And now we're going to bend towards that front leg, pulling the elbow back, keeping the chin in. And we're going to go in and out of that side bend. So coming out of it, back into that hip shift, and a nice long side bend. Good. One more time. We'll add the rotation this time. Hips shift back. Glide them forward. Bending to the side. And if you want to add a little bit more rotation, you're going to peer up to the sky or ceiling past that elbow. Whew. All right. Release there and shake it out. A little sidestep arm swing. Moose, you want to make sure everyone knows you have a new horse in the house? All right, I'm gonna get ready for that opposite side. So keep the feet hip width apart, long step back, draw the stomach in. The arm of the trail leg is gonna reach up. So the hip shift is key. When we sit all day long, the front of those hips get really tight. So we wanna focus to open them, eyes up, chest tall, bending that body towards that front leg. Holding for about 2 breaths, and then we'll come out of it for twice more. Hips back. Hips forward, think about being long and tall through the torso. Whew, good, last time, back, forward, gentle side bend with that option to gently rotate, peering up past the elbow. Really trying to squeeze that tush of the trail leg, and then unwind from there. Good job, back to that sidestep arm swing. Alrighty, we got some upper body work paired with some blood flow work. All of our exercises are going to be 30 seconds in length for this last round. We're going to be working our dumbbell row. In between arms on the dumbbell row, you can either march or a little bit of high knees. Then we'll do our dumbbell row on the opposite side. From there, we're going to go to our overhead tricep extension. And then we'll finish out the circuit with some stepper jump jacks. So let's grab one more sip of water. I'm going to move the moose out of the way. And then the first exercise is going to be that dumbbell row. All right, buddy. Come on, go get him. Good job. All right, we didn't even knock the lights over. All right, friends, we're going to be starting here in about 20 seconds. As I mentioned, 30 seconds on each movement. We'll give about a 10-second transition as we progress through. Standing up nice and tall. If you're holding that weight in your right arm, it's going to be your left leg that steps forward. Think long spine as you come down, forearm supports on the thigh. And here we go. Turn that chin and pull that chin in and turn the head so you're looking forward at the front leg. And then we're drawing that elbow nice and high, squeezing that shoulder back and down in towards the spine. Breathe in on the forward reach, breathing out as you row up and in. 10 seconds. 2, 1, and transition. You're going to set that weight down, come up nice and tall, and then we can do the march and punch here. You can add a little skip to it, or you can just do that straight up running high knees. Your choice. I'm going to do a little bit of a march and punch. Keeping that airflow going, keeping that heart rate up. Good, 10 seconds. And then we're going to transition to that dumbbell row on the opposite arm. 2, 1, and rest here. Good job. Coming back into position. Same thing, opposite side. Long spine as you bow down and begin. Draw that chin in, turn that head forward, nice and neutral through the upper spine. Nice and fluid on the row. One of our favorite exercises, building that strength for our posture. Keeping that shoulder blade back on the rib cage so we can avoid that rounded shoulder posture. Good. Imagine trying to pull that shoulder blade in towards the spine. Let's go one more time and resting there. Good job. You can keep that weight in your hands. We're going to come up to overhead for our tricep extension. Soft bend the knees, draw the stomach in, and then here we go. You bend the elbows and extend. If you're really stiff in your mid-back, just be cautious here. You don't overarch. You can try to squeeze the glutes. That's going to help prevent a little bit of that overarching in the lumbar spine or that low back halfway through. On this exercise now, we want the eyes up, finding something straight ahead to focus on. Good. 2, 1, and resting there. Excellent. And then to finish out the circuit, you've got your step or your jump jacks. Or here's a spot if you just want to dance. Maybe you've got some good music playing on your end. The whole idea is just to move the body, keep it flowing. But ideally, have some fun. Move your body in a way that you enjoy. Sometimes you can enjoy the challenge of that good old jumping jack. Beautiful. 10 seconds. Nice and light on the feet. 3, 2, 1, and pausing there. All right, time for a quick drink. You need to make any changes to the weights. I'll be back here in about 20 seconds. All right, we're gonna be back to that dumbbell row on your first arm. Standing tall, go ahead and get into position. Long spine, 2, 1, begin. Think about drawing that chin in as you look forward towards the foot. And still work that strength in the front of the neck. It's also going to help lengthen the back of the neck. Nice fluid breathing. Breathe in on that forward reach. Breathing out as you pull it high. Wonderful. Couple more. And transition, the march and punch or the running high knees. Good. Keep the hips nice and level. This march and punch is some balance work in disguise. So it's drawing up through that midline. 10 seconds if you want to speed it up a little bit. Or if you've been going fast, you can also slow it down a little bit. Awesome. Those knees up nice and high, lift the foot and toes, and take a pause there. Awesome. Dumbbell row, opposite arm. Starting at 5, come on down into position and begin. Back to that realignment through the spine, drawing the chin in, looking forward. Whole foot on that front leg should be anchored on down. We're halfway through. You can also add a little pause at the top. If you wish maybe you had a little bit heavier weights, then pull it up strong, squeeze it in, and then you can go a little bit slower on the down. Resting there. Keeping that weight in your hand, coming to that overhead tricep extension. Set the feet about hip width apart, reaching them up to overhead. 2, 1. Here we go. Squeeze the backside, try to squeeze that tush as you work that upper body. Just a very gentle bend in your knees. And then watch that tendency to push that head forward. Keep that chin in. You want it to stay nice and stationary through that upper neck. 10 seconds. We're going to move directly into those step or jump jacks next. 2, 1. Here we go. So you can go right into a step. Or if you like that jump, try to be nice and light on the feet. And mix it up a little bit. Good, halfway. Rest breaks come in. Awesome job, 10 seconds, and then we're gonna have a 30-second break before our final round. 2, 1, and pausing here. Excellent. So finish it out with the heaviest weights that you feel comfortable with. That's negative 20. All right, it'll be our last round on each movement, starting with that dumbbell row here in 10 seconds. All righty, go ahead and get on set. 3, 2, 1, begin. Good focus on this last round, staying connected to the breath. Holding that strong posture, drawing the chin in. Make sure that shoulder is not starting to creep up into the ear. We want to keep our neck as long as we can as we pull that shoulder blade in towards the spine. 10 seconds. And 3, 2, 1, and pause. Alrighty, we've got the running high knees or the march. You can also do a little bit of a weighted march here. I'm going to keep that weight I was just rowing. I'm going to hold it up underneath my chin. And then here's our 30 seconds starting now. Just a little bit of a weighted march. Good. Moose thinks that the weighted march time or the moving around time means for him to come on in and play. 10 seconds. But he's got roots, not me this time. Get a little bit of a break. All right, we're almost there. 2, 1. There's our 30. We're gonna get ready for that dumbbell row. Final time, last arm. Coming into position. Draw the stomach in. And here we go. Breathing out. Try to breathe in and out. You can still breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Nice strong exhale. Your body's going to naturally inhale on its own. On that long neck posture, so you draw that elbow as high as you can towards the ceiling or sky if you get to be outside today. 3, 2, 1. There's our 30. Keeping your weight in hand. Final set of our overhead tricep extensions. 2, 1. 30 seconds starts now. Maintain that gentle bend in the knees. You got to kind of focus here to squeeze that backside. That's a good practice. Keep some of the biggest muscles of your body activating as you work this upper body. Good. 10 seconds. And 3, 2, 1, and resting there. Awesome job. Got our jump jacks, or maybe if you want to just practice a little bit of rebounding to finish, little lateral side to side. You can pump those arms. Moose. Good job. It's our last little bit before our cool down stretch. So finish strong. Smile. Feel free to move those arms up to overhead. You can do our little like celebration hops here. Imagine you're at a party. 2, 1, and all done. All right, friends, give yourself a little round of applause. Good stuff. Let's grab a drink.
Nope.
All right. Let's give a good stretch for the calves. I'm going to go back to my chair. Try to anchor it against my little bookshelf here. If you have a staircase nearby and you can lower your heels off that, that's great. I'm going to go this like stagger stance version here, rolling back onto that heel, kind of pushing against the wall or the chair. Breathing. And switch. Step the 1 foot forward, long step back, and then lower that heel down. Again, use that upper body. That's why I have my chair against the bookcase or against the wall so you can push against it. Good. And then when you're ready, coming off of there, I'm going to stay in my chair. We're going to move into our hinge, like a door hinge stretch next. Feet about hip width apart. Midline nice and strong. Bend those knees as you send the hips back. And you're going to place the hands right about chest height without overarching that lower spine. Guide your heart down towards the floor. Turn that heat off. And now the breath. Try to breathe into the back and sides of the rib cage. Come out of that stretch as you breathe in. And then on the exhale, just gently lower down a bit more. All right, let's go about 2 or 3 more breaths. And gradually release, coming up and forward. All right, from here, we're gonna make our way down to the floor. We're gonna do our little flow of that down dog, with that leg nice and high, and then we're gonna come into our pigeon and our seated twist. So if you need to have a block around, if that's going to help you with that pigeon position, you can have your yoga block nearby. All right. As you come down to hands and knees, let's revisit that cat-cow that we used at the start of the session. So nice wide handprint. Exhaling as you draw up between the shoulder blades, draw the chin in towards the chest, and then a gentle inhale. Lifting the head, looking straight forward. Sink in with the rhythm of your breathing. Gliding through. Good, last time. All right, from here, keep the hands where they are. The fingers are a little narrow, spread them out nice and wide. Imagine you're trying to mimic a little starfish with those hands. Turning the toes under. And then we'll take us some time into down dog here, rocking forward onto the hands, pushing back, guiding that heart towards the thighs. Good, a little bit more love for the calves after all that jumping that we did. Pedaling out the heels. All right, we're gonna start with the right leg. So you're gonna extend the leg, point the toe, raise that leg as high as you can towards the ceiling, engage the glute, and then we're gonna flow it forward, coming forward, trying to square the shin to your hips and shoulders. And then here, if this is a tough position, is where you can use that block, give a little extra lift to the front side of the body, and make sure I don't want you just to drop into that hip, so keep some engagement here. If it's comfortable for you to lower down onto those forearms, you can come on down and forward. Comfortable is relative. You want to feel the stretch without feeling like you're in pain. Continue to breathe here. You want to come back onto outstretched arms. You can come back up a little bit taller. Take about another 10 seconds. Good. And when you're ready, you're going to go ahead and sit onto the hip of that front leg. And be your right hip, and then we're going to swing that left leg around, sitting up nice and tall. Just start by hugging the leg in towards the chest. And this may be as deep as you get into the twist, which is totally fine. Breathing. Your body does want to go a little bit deeper. Then you can work that elbow on the front of the knee as you crawl that outstretched hand behind you, following that head, following with the head and neck. And spend about 5 cycles of breathing here, in through the nose, lengthening through the spine. On that exhale, focus to hold that length, and then just turning the head a hair more. Drawing that shoulder down of the arm that's reaching behind you, keeping that neck nice and long. And then when you're ready, gradually unwind from there. This should be your left leg that you're hugging in. We're going to return to that down dog position. And then that leg's going to come forward on the second time. Alrighty, so place the hands, turn the toes under. Rocking forward, rocking back. Pedaling out the heels. Once you get a nice stretch for those calves, when you're ready, you'll extend that left leg, point the toe, extend through the hip, raising that leg nice and high. And then we glide it on forward. Using your blocker pillow as needed. Just gently lowering that hip. Pigeon can be a challenging one for folks, so, use it wisely. If you want to come on lower, you can come on to the forearms. If pigeon doesn't work for you, figure four, even from seated on the chair or on your back, is a great substitute. If you're down on the forearms, you can come back up. We're going to go into that seated twist here in about 10 seconds. Very good. And then when you're ready, gradually sitting on that hip, swinging that back leg around. Good. Hugging that leg in. Just gradually invite your body into that seated twist, hugging it in, and then you're going to reach that arm back, working the elbow on the front of the thigh as able. It's all right if you can't do it. Sometimes people get more critical to them about themselves with the stretching component than the actual weight training portions. Typically, it just comes down to where you feel most confident and comfortable in your body. Focusing on that breath, inhaling on the inhale, or lengthening on the inhale, and rotate a bit more on the exhale. Good. When you're ready, unwind from there. We're going to return to hands and knees one more time. I'm going to get a little bit of rotation through that mid back, and then we're going to finish on our back. So nice wide handprint, one hand down, opposite hand's going to come behind the head. Breathing in, you're going to bring one elbow to meet that opposite elbow, and then breathing out, you're going to lift up out of that downside shoulder, peering past that elbow, between 5 and 8 on each side. Really take a moment to pause when you're in that open position. See how far you can pull that elbow back. Turning the eyes as well to peer up to the ceiling. And I always imagine it's like, I feel like I'm wringing my torso out like a towel. So I'm trying to get that mobility, keep that rotation through that mid body, so then I don't have to over rotate or compensate in that lower spine or the neck. We tend to get most stiff through that mid back. Good. When you're ready, same thing, opposite side. Place the hand. Again, breathing in as you close the body, breathing out as you open. The more air you get out of the lungs, the more rotation you're going to be able to acquire through that mobility piece. Ensure you don't start to sink into that bottom shoulder, so really lift up out of that downside hand. One or two more. And when you finish that, let's go ahead and take it on to your back. Great job. Slowly come on down. Returning to that double kneaded chest, rocking your body side to side. Taking it into that two knee twist, arms come to 90 degrees, legs come across, looking over that shoulder. And then you use your midline to determine how far into that twist you'd like to go. Let's get anywhere between 2 to 3 touches on each side. Similar to what we just did in that mid back rotation, you want to pause in the bottom position of this low back rotation. Changing directions of the head and neck. good. Go ahead and even yourself out on both sides. And then when you're ready, we're going to stretch our quads from this side lying position. So when you finish that two-knee twist, go ahead and roll over onto the side. You can prop up onto the elbow. Extend both legs out, and then you're going to bend the knee of the top leg. Ideally, we'd like to be able to touch that heel to your glute. And obviously without forcing, but that just gives you like a little cue. If you have adequate length through that quad and hip flexor, if you're a little bit shy on being able to touch your heel towards that glute, then just simply practice this stretch. Keep those hip flexors open. Good. When you're ready, release that leg and then swing it around to the other side.
Still in the first class?
Yep. Okay. Pull that elbow in. High moose. Bend that top knee. Almost done. Alrighty. You've got a good stretch on that side. You're going to return to your backs. Last little bit here. If you want to go into a bit of a happy baby. For that happy baby, we're going to work those elbows on the insides of the leg. Kind of push those inner thighs nice and wide as you grab the shins, or if you can reach the feet. And then just as it sounds, you want to just imagine you're that little happy baby in the crib. Opening the inner thighs, loosen up that low back with a little gentle rock side to side, and then position your head so that you're just looking straight up towards the ceiling. Good. If anybody wants to go deeper here, if you know that plow stretch where you can bring your feet over the head, you know, I want you to use your judgment on that for your own body, not force anything. It gives a pretty big opening for that upper neck. Just be wise. And then when you're all done with that, I invite you to just come onto your flat position, extending those legs out. Draw your arms down to the sides, palms up. Bye, Kathy. Have a great day. And then we're just going to take a moment here to breathe. Close the eyes. Feel your body against the ground. The more that you can focus in on your body and the environment around you, you get to be outside, maybe you can hear some birds right now. The more you can rest, give your mind and all that processing that we do a break. Spend some time there as long as you'd like. We'll take time to move our bodies, but then we also want to take time to rest our bodies. So thanks for just taking a short little rest break with me today. I invite you to stay there as long as you can. Otherwise, we will see you next time. Stay vital.